Today's show, with the governor's race that has been tightening according to the polls, you're looking at the results from Survey USA back in August. Incumbent Governor Kathy Hochul had a commanding lead, 55% to 31% for Republican Lee Zeldin. But fast forward to now, and the newly released poll that just came out from Survey USA for October, look at that. Hochul's lead over Zeldin is now down to just 6 points. It's outside the margin of error, but both candidates are now below 50%, and you have 12% either undecided or planning to vote for somebody else. So what to make of all of this? Joining us live now is Professor Dr. Sean Donahue with the University of Buffalo's Political Science Department. It is great to have you back on the show. And, you know, this poll, if we had seen it maybe a couple of weeks ago, it would have seemed like an outlier. But we now have several of these polls showing it just extremely tight, and I think way tighter than a lot of people thought it was going to be. I just want to start here with your assessment of those top-line results.
Well, I mean, we've seen quite a few polls that have been released in the past week or so. And, you know, we've had a range of kind of mid-single digits to low double digits. But I think that the critical thing is not so much what the lead is that Governor Hochul's lead has shrank considerably over the past month or so.
This poll, like a lot of others, asks people, what do you think is the issue that is most important? And I think this kind of informs us about what's happening with the race. No surprise, according to this one, inflation is at the top. More than a third of voters say inflation is most important. But crime has now skyrocketed to the second most important issue, 18% saying that, and then abortion close behind, 15% saying that that is most important. How are the issues now factoring into this race, especially with Lee Zeldin focusing so much on that crime issue?
Well, you know, you've seen Congressman Zeldin's television ads have really hammered Governor Hochul on the issue of crime, particularly the issue of the cashless bail reform that was passed a few years ago, and tying that to rising crime rates out there. And plus, the other thing that Congressman Zeldin has had going for him is that you've had some outside Republican groups that have also been running ads for him that have really eliminated kind of Governor Hochul's advantage on the air.
With the governor's lead shrinking, how do you imagine all of these poll results might change how the two candidates are campaigning over the final couple of weeks?
Well, I think that one of the things that this might do is that both campaigns may be able to raise more money. So, you know, one of the things that Congressman Zeldin has always been kind of something that he had to fight is the fact that New York is just such an overwhelmingly Democratic state. President Biden won the state by over 2 million votes in 2020. The idea that, you know, he really was not that competitive, but with showing that he is possibly in a competitive race, that may encourage some Republican donors that were on the sidelines to put some money in the race. With Governor Hochul, I think that she may be trying to tap into more fundraising as well. So I think that you're going to see both campaigns in the next 2.5 weeks, because you know, we have early voting is going to start, I believe, late next week. So, you know, they're going to really be hammering home some of their messages. And the other thing that with early voting starting is that you're going to see the candidates going much more into turnout mode rather than as much persuasion mode.
Yeah, early voting a week from tomorrow, so just 8 days out, and then of course the election on November 8th. This is one that Congressman Zeldin's campaign has been saying for a long time. Look, we think we're gaining steam, and the polls certainly showing that this is going to be competitive. UB Professor Dr. Sean Donahue, thanks so much for coming on. Good to see you.
My pleasure, Michael.
All right, thank you.